welcome back to episode 4 of the CuzNCiseal Show. I am your host, CuzNCiseal, aka Mike Fowler, the gentleman that Colin Moriarty doesn't agree with that the toxicity of this generation is happening. But to each his own. I feel maybe I'm more in the trenches just looking at, things come on my Twitter a lot more than probably Colin looks at it, because obviously he's way more professional than I am in the sense of knowing what is bullshit and what is not. Because I'm trying to say about bullshit is, you guys hear about this Dusk Golem that he intentionally posted news about possibly quote-unquote fake 4K on the PS5, and then he brought to attention saying that he only posted it because he felt like it was very one-sided that week of Xbox negative news that he just wanted to throw out there about PS5. Pretty fucked up, huh? That's what I feel, in the sense of people are chomping at the bit for these consoles. And these people that are quote-unquote insiders saying, because this Dusk Golem, he is usually a gentleman who brings Capcom news, where he actually, his whole little tweet thing came out of that there was rumors that he heard that Resident Evil Village, so Resident Evil 8, was having some difficulty with graphical-wise on the PS5. Long story short, without getting into spreading the rumors, there's no truth into it, because obviously he might have got that information from OG builds, way closer builds from probably when the dev kits first came out. And then 2, I believe I heard Capcom has came out and said this is all not true. But then that's what I'm just trying to talk to. I think there's just been a lot more insiders having to come out of the woodwork, and there are these sites, because the site that brings up, I'm probably going to quit looking into them, is I think it's called WCCFFC.com. They do a lot of tech. They are been doing a lot more, I think, in my eyes, bringing gossip they're just trying to get that, they're probably small time. You ever heard of this website before I just said that? I think they're just more trying to get their foot in the door so they can be a good source for, gamers or even just tech, period. Because I've noticed since, they've had articles about what Jeff Grubb has said, and the reason why I say Jeff Grubb, I wanted to just, because I don't think they all here listen to the CuzNCiseal Show, but, I want to say congratulations to the PSVG family, Donnie, all of them, to have Jeff Grubbs, an insider, to be on the Nintendo Shack. PSVG is just sprouting their wings and becoming a real big force of nature in my eyes. I hope I'm looking into it the right way. They had Colin Moriarty on their PlayStation 1. They've had Ryan McCaffrey on their Xbox. If you guys not heard of them, I really hope you guys look into PSVG. They've been doing a really good job. I want to just, tip of the hat, say congratulations. Not weird. Love you guys, because obviously you guys were a part of the Married to the Games little forum bunch too. So I've known you guys for years. Just wanted to say congratulations for everything you guys are doing. And then just also, go back to Jeff Grubbs. There was that website has brought Jeff Grubbs' attention about that. He said the PS5 might have some third-party trouble at the beginning of the generation. Much like, in my eyes, how to me, it makes it sound like they're describing PS5's structure almost like the cell structure of PS3, where we did have troublesome third-party games. Even our Skyrim was not as good as compared to the Xbox Skyrim. But the idea what I'm trying to get to is the poor guy has to fucking fight these toxic websites like this Hip Hop Gamer, who is trying to put Jeff Grubbs on blast, which Jeff Grubbs went to multiple podcasts, and the one that was in particular, he went to this one called BRAP, Basement Arc, I don't fucking even know, but BRAP podcast, and just was setting his news about, there's some rumors that there might be some third trouble, but at the same time, I'll give the Hip Hop Gamer that same website, that WCCF bullshit, has an article about Jeff Grubb saying that the third parties are fawning over the PS5 and the structure. And me having to Google what fawning means, it just means they're kind of like over-exaggerating their love for the system. So it could be media bullshit in the sense that they're saying, oh, it's good. Maybe I'll have to be upset but who knows? Because of this week's news, we'll see how everything turns out in the forefront of Xbox and PS5. I have come to now need to more just take a step back, because now with this podcast, I am definitely going to be looking for news. I need to stop looking at these smaller websites, which I'm trying to, if they have good news, I want to use them. But then I noticed that WCCF one feels more they are making gossip posts, because I'm only putting into attention that Dust Golem one I just said. There was never an update on that page that says update. It's all bullshit. Here's why. You know what I mean? That's the only part I'm saying. Like, they might be small, but I think they should do their due diligence of updating their posts to say, yep, this is wrong. Because I know right now, a lot of the Xbox people that might listen to this show, they should definitely understand where I'm coming from, because the same website about a month ago said that Xbox is not making any money off of Game Pass, which would have been on my side of how I felt. But I'm trying to say it as a grain of salt. I'm not going to, believe in them no more. They just take gossip and haysays from podcasts and they just make articles, which is, should be red flags in my eyes, but I'm going to do better. Off of that, and obviously congrats on PSVG. How's your week? As you can tell, because I just kind of went off the bat for a little rant. This episode is going to be definitely what I'm going to call the cherry pick episodes. Hopefully it's not monthly, but it seems like I'm going to do an episode not with a real main focus, because of course, if you've noticed my show, I can go through stories pretty fast. So I'm just going to cherry pick, and we're going to get some stories, maybe some ones that I might have missed, and we'll see how this goes. My week's been pretty good. I got to sit down and I watched multiple okay to bad movies. The first main one I would like to have everybody check out, which I will say it again at the end. It is probably going to be a hot pick this week. I did watch Jamie Foxx's Project Power on Netflix. I really dig that style of real world superhero feel genre. The Project Power had it almost felt like a Push 2. If you know what Push was with Chris Evans, where it was like a family lineage way of superpowers, it was in China. Like the Chinese family had the screaming power, but obviously it was genetically they all had the same power, and I was the ones who could push thoughts in your head. Project Power is about, what if there was a pill that can give you superpowers for 5 minutes, but in particular is because of your genetics. You don't know if the power is flight. You don't know if the power is you could turn into a fucking puddle of mud. You know what I mean? It doesn't get into that much into the story, but Jamie Foxx is basically a father looking for his daughter and was kidnapped from the people who run the pills. I'm just going to keep that part vague. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a police officer from New Orleans Police Department that is part of the story. There's a really good triangle of connections going on with, there's also, I can't remember the girl's name, but there is a actress who talks to both Joseph and Jamie Foxx at different parts of the show, and she does really well. She's the main little kid, and is it protagonist? Yeah, protagonist. She does pretty good rapping too. But I do have some tropes I don't like that I'm noticing more and more each year that no one really highlights, because maybe no one's noticing them. But I don't like that. Why do black people have superpowers that always involve mobility or being able to have loose limbs and being able to look flexible out the fucking wazoo? They never get to have the fucking fire powers or ice powers in majority of the movies. And for some reason, these tropes also fall into, they have Latin American or sometimes Chinese ones have their powers are usually involving making spikes with bones. And I just don't understand why there's been multiple movies with these tropes. Why can't they have the cool powers too? The reason I say that is because I'm going to say this part of the spoiler. Like, fucking Machine Gun Kelly is in it, and she is the cousin. He is the cousin of that girl protagonist who's black. But as you know, Machine Gun Kelly, he's white as a ghost. And he gets to have the cool fire powers and then be gone with it in 5 minutes. Like, there could have been, it sounds dumb. Maybe I'm just pinpointed too much, but they could have had, a black guy be the person for the 5-minute fight and then burst into flames. I just don't think I just think it's weird that they always have the tropes that these guys are in these genre of genetics. I know I'm hashing it right now, but I would insist everybody check it out, especially if you have Netflix. It's a very good popcorn movie. Turn your brain off, enjoy the ride, and it's pretty good. Also, I would avoid the other movie that's on Netflix called We Summon the Shadows or some shit. It's about 3 80s metal chicks tricking these boys to come over the house and they try to kill them. And it's about like this cult of a church cult, like a Joel Steen power church, mega church, like all this stuff. I just said more story than you had. Like, you had to watch 2 hours to get that 2 minutes of information for nothing. It was pretty bullshit. It was a terrible, terrible movie. But yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I watch. What is it? I'm recording this 4 hours before the premiere of Lovecraft County, which I'm going to be definitely talking about next week. That looks very, very good. I guess onward for this week. What have I been playing? And this week, I have to say, I was just being a total heel on Fall Guys. I love that game, and I think it's been a very great summer battle royale game that is just, I love the cuteness. I love that it's not violent, there's a skill to it, but it's the skills I want. I want platforming skills because I'm old. And I like that I've been becoming like I said, heel. I've been doing evil things when I play. There's that level that's called Perfect Match, which is a very simple, look at the squares. One square is going to be on the screen, get to the screen, the block, and then you're safe, blah, blah, blah. I push motherfuckers off this thing now, and I love doing it on the first round when everyone's standing still just because it's only 2 squares to worry about. I get real close and I push them off, and I think it's just funny. Sorry. I'm Eddie Guerrero. I lie, I cheat, I steal in that game. I've been stealing. I stole crowns in the sense of the patch point 1.05 brought in a beta apparently showdown level, which is the 2 like bumper sticks spinning in circles and you have to just jump. I won one by holding the motherfucker down, and we both fall, but he fell into the puddle faster than I did, so I won. You gotta get them crowns, baby. And then also some quick fire thing. I also am pushing through into Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2. And I'm still enjoying that retro style game. It's good, but it's not like that I've got to write home to mom good. It's $15. I would catch it. If you can catch it for 10, I'd pick it up. It's pretty I'm not disappointed. It's a really good game. I really like I don't even know how to explain it. I love the map. It's just very good Castlevania old school feel. But then also the biggest element of what I've been playing is I got into this week's Marvel's Avengers beta. And I have to say, I'm not a big fan of it. I do thank God Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics chose to make a beta so that, get the feel of it. But it does not click with me. I do not know why, besides I think Destiny has spoiled these type of games for a lot of people because it is a mixed bag Avengers is getting. This beta has opened up my eyes with, they both Destiny and Avengers has that picking up loot to maybe improve yourself. And does Destiny have bullshit things you pick up when you're little to make you find the better stuff, yes. But at this moment in time, I don't think Marvel's Avengers has a exotic armor set that if I said, like if I heard the helm of Saint 14, I know that's an exotic helmet for a Titan. You know what I mean? Something that people can drive for. I don't see Avengers having like fucking Hulk-sized condom to be an exotic idea of like, yep, I know what that's for. I know what that good's for. I think they're screwing the pooch right off the bat when they showed when you can upgrade, which they tell you have to upgrade. Hey, you have some things in your inventory you can upgrade your character to be stronger, where you can press L2 to put the best equipment on. It turns my brain off. I'm like, why I don't even have to look anymore. I just pick up shit off the ground. It goes in my inventory, and I just check later, do I have to upgrade? I also don't like that. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's in the HUD. So I don't want to speak like I'm not playing it. But when I'm playing it, I didn't notice it tell you, hey, you got something good in your inventory to upgrade. So what I'm trying to get to is with Destiny, like it pops open. There's color changes. I know there's stars in Avengers, but it just doesn't. It doesn't show or tell me like, yeah, you should upgrade now. You can become stronger now. I wish it just. I guess I have a better HUD display saying go upgrade now. I don't like the punching of like that. Like so it's like a hack and I don't want to call it hack and slasher, but I have to say like the only character that spoke to me was Black Widow. I like her combat. I like that her long ranges guns, they felt quick, because Iron Man I didn't like Iron Man as a playable character. Hulk has issues. I don't like, you can go by what people said, like, oh, he doesn't feel like he's putting a real blow into the fight of people, whatever. My problem is that like the mobility, like he becomes a Velcro fucking person when he jumps to a wall. And I wish there was just a little bit more je ne sais quoi of, we know we were going to go down this dark ridge of wall running, but let him do a little like step before he jumps to the next step. Make him look like he's more fluent. He's literally going jump, clamp, jump again, clamp again. You could be at the corner of the jump. It just doesn't look right. I also don't like that the beta gives us this disconnected feel of the events of A-Day, so the first mission on the bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, to 5 years later, and you're with Kamala and Bruce Banner with just a little cutscene, and it just like, maybe it was me, but I don't even know how Kamala is with Bruce. I don't know. I'm assuming, I hope they just jumped you ahead so you don't have to see all of the game since it's a beta. But it just disconnected me. It made me like go like, what the fuck is going on of story wise? I understand that it showed us aim and all that shit, but the idea of you being those two characters at the same time, I'm like, how'd you guys meet? I don't miss Marvel. I don't mind her, but I have a weird, her long range attack is her obviously stretching long enough to just punch the person from a distance. It looks stupid. I'd rather see her maybe do, if you're going to do that, I'd rather see her, instead of punching, her long range maybe grapples them and brings them close, so then you can get away from that animation so you can just punch in front. It just needs some polishing in my eyes, but of course this is a beta that will soon be just the final product, because I think we're too close to the finish line for me to like say, yeah, they're going to improve battle techniques for their people at the moment in time. Also, some things I don't like real quick is like the Hulk that you play at the San Francisco Bridge plays different compared to the second level you are made to play, which threw me off. The beta has some weird disconnection things at the beginning, which I will, to be fair, I'll do my due diligence and see if I can finish the beta for next week's episode, because I know there is a finish line one that says congratulations, you finished the beta, and I'll get to that part without me. But right now I'm on that side of the mix review idea of it. I'm like, it's just okay, but it is what it is. I am also going to say real quick while I'm on the topic, there's been a big rumor of a leak of possible characters that are going to be coming in soon, and they're in the beta's fucking files, which that gives me a red flag because I hate when I hear that add-on characters are already in like beta files. Like, how long, like, why didn't you just put them in the main game? But also at the same time, which the gentleman who I retweeted this, he popped up and said, we don't technically know if there is any more characters in the main game. But this is a list of characters found in the beta files for Marvel's Avengers. Hawkeye, which was already announced that he's an add-on. Kate Bishop, Captain Marvel, War Machine, Black Panther, Marvel, which is the male Captain Marvel before they made a girl to help with this generation bullshit. She-Hulk, Wasp, Ant-Man, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Mockingbird, Quake, Vision, Falcon, and Winter Soldier. So grab your salt shaker, hold on tight if you want to just think about those characters, because I'm not saying these are 100% for sure. Take them all with a grain of salt. But yeah, like I said, we're going to be cherry picking through some news. And yeah, I'll just get right into it. Last week in Chicago, there's some real street soldiers out there that got their hands on some Xbox Series X controllers that also show that the next Xbox Series, the Lockhart codename system they have not truly announced, is going to be the Xbox Series S. And most likely, thanks to that controller box that says do not display till November 5th, November 5th might be our release date, boys, because that's where the warranty also is for the controller. Like, you have a year warranty on those controllers. And that probably is the most positive news that's going to happen right now, that we found the new controller, which has a third button in the middle. So it goes with I only know the PlayStation ones offhand, but there'll be an option share, and then they have now a middle button that kind of looks like without the swiping part, but it could be like an answer so that it has like that touchpad push button now. But it could be, I don't know exactly even the logo that's on that little button. Last week also, 343 announced that they had to delay Halo Infinite till 2021. And I honestly do not know how to feel for Xbox fans. I know there's a lot of kumbaya ideas about the idea that they're going to pull through, which at the end of the day, yes, because it is what it is. A delayed game is not a bad game, but at the same time, to be frank, there is no reason to upgrade to a next-gen console for Xbox right now. And not saying it like the nails in the coffin idea, but it's because of their outlook of selling the system or even selling their brand. You'll apparently be able to play every game on Xbox Game Pass could be on a Game Pass phone, or you of course will have your Xbox One. I just feel for them, but also I am very optimistic in the sense of I want to see a second place Microsoft again, because a second place Microsoft created Game Pass. So what could happen? There was rumors before, like they were going to put Halo on a different console of a Sony console like a long time ago. Could Xbox, without saying it meanly, but could Xbox throw in the towel on hardware and just become a software company? They do software right now, and that's what their real motive is. I mean, I don't know how that would work, them taking the bullet off of not having Xbox Gold, like the idea of like how pay for online, but like obviously everyone will pay for Game Pass if Xbox switches to a software company. But I'm sorry for Xbox fans, but I feel good for being a PlayStation fan. It does put the car into the right lane of PS5 is gonna be big this winter, because not saying it meanly like that, but there's a very low chance of getting an Xbox for me, or I wasn't going to get one, but for fans, I don't see why would you pick one up at this moment in time where you could save or even get a collector's edition down the road when they do Halo, because you know damn well they're going to do a Halo edition Series X. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes. I I wish the best, but onward and forward. WB Studios last week also has confirmed that, yeah, they're not for sale no more, which was coincidental after I said some rumors last couple episodes ago. Yeah, Warner Brothers, aka AT&T, said, yeah, their game studios are not for sale, and they had some big announcements for the DC Fandom, which would be the WB Montreal is also going to be at the Fandom doing a panel for their Arkham Knights game that they've been teasing for ever. Plus, also, Rocksteady is going to be at Fandom, like I've said before, with Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. In Justice 3 now, there's a rumor that they might be adding the Watchmen as like the new thing for the next Injustice, which would be really awesome to see. I don't want to see all the costumes for Dr. Manhattan. There'll be a lot of dicks. Whew. But I do want to put out I hope for the best. I wish everybody well. But AT&T did some major layoffs for DC Comics for the comic actual book-wise. I'm very sad. There was some writers lost jobs. A big chunk was in the DC Universe app, which, if I was already, like I said, past last week, I was already sad thinking this year's video game is the most toxic. Hey, put some salt in my wound to hear my favorite brand of comic, DC, is being gutted because of AT&T. I hope everyone gets a job. I hope they all jump back on their feet. It's very hard to hear during a pandemic, people losing jobs, of course. But it obviously hurts more when it's your favorite brand like mine. Another quick story from last week. The Street Fighter developer quit. Yoshinori Ono. He quit this week. There is this COVID-19 stuff took a toll on him. But also, luckily, I guess, apparently not saying the story last week, some things from Giant Bomb that there was some possible disagreements on ideas for the next game that made him kind of want to quit. This is like a rumor podcast. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if he was actually trying to say a joke, but there's rumors that Yoshi wanted to make Street Fighter 6 have 3-on-3 battle team style gameplay too. But of course, I don't know if Ben Pack was just trying to make a joke. I've heard Giant Bomb did say there was rumors that there were just some disagreements on the future of Street Fighter. I guess Capcom didn't want to hurt or break what's not broken, but apparently also I didn't know that. Giant Bomb makes it sound like the fans don't mind Street Fighter 5 that much, so we'll see how Street Fighter 6 comes through. That's going to come sooner than later, and I wonder if PlayStation has made that exclusive again, but we'll soon, because I know that also if you are mad about Deathloop or Ghostwire, buckle up, because I heard that Sony has been putting out some big guns and been getting a lot more third parties possible exclusives, more than we know. Only time will tell when PlayStation are going to pull out the big guns. But speaking of PlayStation, The Last of Us 2 is getting a patch that gives us grounded and permadeath mode for the game, and also gives us a bunch of visualization. I won't call it mods, but mods for the game. What would the game look like if it was 16-bit? What if you had it cell shaded? That's for the people who kept the game. I platinumed it, did my Viking funeral by sending it off to GameStop to reincarnate as Ghost of Tsushima. I'm glad to hear that they obviously brought the classic grounded mode that's from the original Last of Us into the game. I can only imagine how permadeath works, especially with a bad fall or the Rat King. I'm glad that they're doing more to it. Probably just to keep it quiet until PS5, because that rumored multiplayer game of the Last of Us Territory ship might be coming to PS5. But yeah, remember Control, the news last week. Yeah, the new expansion's coming out. We're in the generation of, smart delivery. Or have the PS4 one. Don't worry, man. You're going to get the PS5 one for free. Not for Control. Control apparently announced they have an Ultimate Edition coming out the same day as that expansion 2 of the AWE Season Pass. That will be the actual ticket so you can get the PS5 one for free. I'm assuming, to my knowledge, it's going to be a full $60 game that you have to get to have an upgraded version for the next-gen consoles, even for Xbox. Just throwing that out there so you don't think it's just a one-sided thing. It's really shitty. There's rumors that people think it's 505 who is the published the game for physical copies. So, I mean, bad on you, 505, to do that shit to fans, especially since, maybe for that. Like, this whole year, people other places think that Control didn't sell that well. It just sold moderate, and they're probably just trying to get that quick buck again. But I hope somewhere down the road they're like, you know what? You don't need the Ultimate Edition. We'll let you have it, the patch. Even I'm just being a devil's advocate about it. Even if they said, all right, the original Control you can buy the Ultimate Pack unlock through the PSN or Xbox Live for $10. That $10 is pushing it, but you know what I mean? Something so that you can use your old disc on it. But yeah, that's some shitty news. Even more shitty news is Ubisoft announced Sam Fisher, Splinter Cell, is coming back, but for Rainbow Six Siege. I don't know what they're doing with the fans. I mean, I like the original Splinter Cells, but I don't understand this whole cock tease that they've been doing for past 3 years with Sam Fisher. Is it because Splinter Cell there's no real microtransaction or DLC packs that can be sold? They're like, no, we can't put him out. He's just too easy to, there's no revenue. I just don't understand. Give us a real Splinter Cell game. But yeah, he's coming to Rainbow Six Siege as a character. Some off-gaming news is apparently there's a rumor for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to be rebooted as a drama. So I didn't even look that far into it. I thought it was a joke, but I don't know. They're gonna just turn around, flip it upside down, I guess, because I don't see how the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is gonna be good as a drama. Who even owns it? I don't even know. I don't even know who owns the Fresh Prince, but I could see it end up being a CW show that makes everybody cry. Another quick note: Sony might be pulling in the weebs for the PlayStation 5 more than they do, because Sony is interested in buying Crunchyroll from AT&T for $1.5 billion. Nothing has been set in stone, but that was a little rumor mill from last week. And right now, I believe PlayStation gives us the free account membership for Funimation. Crunchyroll is one of the biggest anime streaming sites out there. I think it'd be a non-gaming little badge of honor, since I like anime, but obviously, I told my stepson, because he has us paying for Crunchyroll right now. That'd be cool if we get Crunchyroll for maybe PS Plus price free. You know what I mean? We'll see how that goes if that pulls through, but that was the biggest rumor out of it. And back to video games, apparently there's a G.I. Joe game coming out that at first the trailer made it look like it was like Fortnite, like a PvP game. I'm like, oh boy, it's not what I'm looking for. I'd rather hear a dumb 80s story mission game, kind of like a Terminator Salvation. I've heard Terminator Salvation is a AA game. I'd rather see that for G.I. Joe. And apparently it sounded like Mark Hamill is the voice of Cobra Commander. But I just wanted to say it because, G.I. Joe is alright, but it just... It was a short news week. And also, Embracer Group, which is the THQ Nordic's parent company, has required 8 more studios and includes the 4A games, which is the Metro developers. And in the little announcement, they says that 4A is already working on the next gen Metro game. Hey, good luck to that. I like Metro. I started Exodus. I think I got through the first little train stop. I just had, I'm a Vive rider. I just didn't feel it at the moment, so I'll jump back into it sooner than later. Maybe if I actually can stop being all talk no show and actually start streaming, and maybe I'll do it on like a Throwback Thursday stuff. But also this little thing, Epic Games is fighting both Apple and now Google for apparently removing Fortnite was removed from Apple Store after Epic Games put a new way to buy V-Bucks, because they did apparently over the all the Fortnite spots you can play Fortnite, they've made V-Bucks cheaper. But mobile, Google and Apple both apparently said no or something. It's all about these 30% ownings of how it works. I really don't want to even get that into it. I just think it's crazy seeing 2 billionaire people slap fighting. Well, right now that, Epic Games filed lawsuits against it. We'll see how it goes. Apparently their case involves certain other games have got the okay to not have to pay Apple for their 30% cut into the sales of stuff. It's still surprisingly too early to talk about it in my eyes, besides Fortnite trying to look like the hero by making fun of Apple by sending out a Fortnite trailer that looks like the old 1984 Apple commercial. Also, real quick, while I'm in, because it is short, this is a wrestling one. Apparently, when I was looking into the news right now, Sonya Deville, which is a WWE superstar, she apparently luckily wasn't home, but someone broke into her house with zip ties, a knife, and was potentially going to kidnap her from her home. I'm more happy nothing bad has happened. Just wanted more to throw it out there for wrestling fans who listen. That shit's scary. I'm more happy that nothing, besides that, I'm happy that it was just breaking, entering, an attempt of kidnapping. Nothing bad has happened to Sonya. I hope she, stays safe. Hope everyone, all her WWE family is watching over each other and making sure everyone's safe. That was this week's episode of CuzNCiseal Show. Pretty short and sweet. But yeah, I'm going to leave off with hot picks. Music is Action Bronson, Latin Grammy. And also I wanted to just put out there, because a fella from Miami would get mad if I didn't say it. Nas came out with a new song called Ultra Black featuring Hit Boy. Comic-wise, I would like everyone to look into, in November, for DC Comics, there will be a comic book called Punchline, which is a one-shot about Joker's new girlfriend named Punchline. And the reason I say that is these hot picks, especially with comics, is for fans who are interested in comics and also collectors. I like to bring out these things that might be valued later down the road. And if you don't own the first appearance of Punchline, which would be in a detective comic, I can't remember which issue offhand, or even maybe in the current Batman runs, but it'd be in the first issue of those ones, getting a first issue of like Punchline issue 1, which is coming in November, is a big deal in the sense of, a collector's wise, so you can say I have the first issue. My example, a couple years ago, about 9 years ago now, maybe 10, Gotham City Sirens, which is Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and Catwoman working together as a team. That issue was $4.99 coming out. I have it, and I think the last time I looked at it, it's worth $60 if you get it graded. But also, if you own Detective Comics like 667, which is the first appearance of the Gotham City Sirens, that one is like $75, which I own. But the idea of, that's what I'm just saying about these hot picks. Sometimes look into them. If you're a collector, I'm giving you time. You can pre-order them like at Midtown Comics or any comic book store that you want to support locally that might do, pull lists. TV and movie, like I said, this week's movie is obviously, I want you to check out Project Power. I like that. Like I said earlier, the way they made the heroes feel like a real thing in the city of New Orleans. Like they had, I know it's product placementing, but the idea that makes you feel like you're in a real world. Like Jamie Foxx, like at a pumping gas at a Shell they showed. He had to meet somebody at Church's Chicken, and like the background of a phone for somebody on the show. That was Zion Williamson, was obviously the first draft pick of the New Orleans Pelicans this year. I like that interactive or connections to real world stuff. And of course, like I said, tonight is Lovecraft Country. Starts tonight on HBO Max also. But yeah, until next time, please follow me on Twitter at MikeFowler93 and also at CuzNCiseal. At CuzNCiseal on Instagram also. And until next time, thank you. Oh, shit. I also did a question. I actually got people to answer them. I sent out a question earlier this week just to ask, just more to keep, nothing about like being like bumping heads about brands, but I wanted to ask a question of like, what would be a feature you'd want PS5 to take from Xbox and vice versa? Like something from that Xbox could take from PlayStation. I didn't want nothing about movie or games or IP. I just wanted to hear some feats. And I started off the comment saying I would like PlayStation to take Xbox's achievement progress stats. Xbox has been obviously in achievements a lot longer than everybody. So they actually have a real system of like, if let's say in a car game you had to drive 500 miles, your achievement, if you go to the achievement part of the Xbox, it'll tell you how many miles you actually drove. So like you can say, oh yeah, I drove 150. I need to drive, 350 more. And I like that shit. That's for the little things. But yeah, but some of the answers was from at that Ninja Dev from PSVG. He said he would love to see progress with the trophies also, but he also would like Xbox's download speeds. Apparently he sees some really big increases of how Xbox can download a game compared to PlayStation. I asked him, does Xbox do like copy and shit like PlayStation does that makes it feel a lot longer to download a game? He said no, it doesn't. Joe Boston 617, he answered and he said he would like backwards compatibility with all gens, digital and disc, and he would love up-res and better frames for old games too. I didn't want to get into, he also agreed on the trophy progression stuff too. But yeah, so basically he's taking the idea that he would like Xbox backwards compatibility. Pretty much that is a feature for their system. They made their infrastructure work like that to come to PlayStation, because PlayStation does have a great backlog of things all the way from to the PlayStation. And another one from @TronStar. He said he doesn't know if this is still a feature, but Xbox used to have the snap feature that you could do picture-in-picture, watch YouTube or something in the corner while playing a game. He said he always wanted something like that on PlayStation, which is a feat. I ain't gonna lie, my son's Xbox, I never looked into if they have the snap thing, because I don't know if that involved still with like some old updates or anything. That'd be cool. I can't knock the idea. And thankfully, I did get Mr. At Walnut77, John Wall. He did give me the only one that involved something that Xbox would take from PlayStation. But he did go off first and said he would love to see Sony embrace their history with backlog catalogs as well, just like Xbox does, and like how Joe Boston said it. But he did say he would love to see Xbox support VR as much as like PlayStation has done with PSVR, which is very true. I think the last time I heard anything about Xbox with VR was back when they said they were doing something with Oculus. Yeah, I mean, I'm more happy if Mr. At Walnut, he gave me one Xbox thing, because it was all things that PlayStation could take from Xbox. Just like Chris McCracken at BreadFan35 from Married to the Games, he actually was very nice enough to answer my question. He would love system level invert Y option for all games. Apparently, you can do that with the Xbox One and the Xbox 360, where you can just go into a system feature in the system, and so they know that in your controller you're always inverted, which, hey, you can't knock the idea. Again, thank you guys very much, all the people I just announced that answer my question. It really helps me in the sense of, makes me feel like I'm actually have people listening, interact with. Thank you guys so much for answering. But like I said, real quick again, at MagFiler93. I might be throwing questions out there this week again. If you guys can listen, that'd be great, and answer them. I'll put them on the show. Till next time, be good to each other. You guys have a good week. Peace.